Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? What's going on, people? Monday evening. It's not bad out there, is it, today? What's going on? Is everyone all right? Rebel advocates in the building. What's going on, man? Who's out there? Is anyone there with me?
Yeah, what's happening, man?
Who's that? Artie?
Yeah, back again, man. How's it going?
What's going on?
Oh, not too much, man. You know, I mean, getting over the Monday.
Mm-hmm. Who else is there? Anyone else?
Yo, so
Who that? Johnny 5?
yeah, man, did man, you good?
You?
Yeah, man, just dealing with life things, yeah.
That's how it's got to be. It's got to be done. Got to deal with it. So what are you saying? What are you saying, old chap?
What's happening?
What are you saying? Me, you, me, you.
I don't mind, man. Whatever you want to do, man.
All right, I'll go first then. How about that?
Go on, then.
I'll go first. Get the juicy one out of the way, you know what I mean?
Defo, man. Come on.
Right. I'm going to be firing you some questions. As always, you know, you guys, on your toes, mate, on your toes.
Come on.
We're going to be talking about sex.
Easy.
We're talking about sex, boys. What's going on? Yeah? But you know what? Funny thing, right? Just go through some stats first because you got to get the boring stuff out of the way. Do you know what I mean? But, yeah. It was fucking nuts when I was looking at the statistics on how people have sex, how many people. It said people on average have sex 3.9 times per week. You believe that?
No.
I don't know. I thought this was set up. This was a bit of a setup, it said there. People are having less sex, it says, from measured by a year basis from 89 to this year. Yeah, people are having less sex. And the age group, the most sexually active age group is 25 to 34. It's a fucking bunch of bullshit, isn't it?
Jesus Christ.
It's a bunch of bullshit, isn't it? I don't know who these people were. And
yeah, strange ones, isn't it?
Were these people having sex on average 7.3 times per month? And then you got 50 to 80-year-olds having sex twice a month. Yeah?
Easy.
Oi, 50 to 80-year-olds, yeah? Just in case, just letting anyone know out there. Who's that?
Easy, yeah. It's a tough gig.
Oi.
It's a tough gig.
What is it? Couples?
Definitely.
Couples are on average having sex 5.8 times per month.
Wow.
Married couples having average of sex less frequent, 5.2 times per month. 26% of couples report to have sex once a week on average. Once a week, you know. Singles on average having sex 2.2 times per month. But it's supposed to be the under 24-year-olds are having sex the most often. 9.1 time a month. What the fuck? What you got to say about that, guys? I don't know, man. I think that was just a bunch of bullshit. I thought it was a bunch of bullshit, innit? Who's having...
I'll jump in on that. Let's have on the stats on it. I think they're all pretty sort of random, innit? It's, I mean, saying, what was it, under 24s were leading the way. I don't think so, mate. But the only evidence you can maybe back up for the argument is that we do have one of the highest levels of young people, having babies. But that's just something that, you know what I mean? Yeah. But... they're pretty random stuff. It's all over the place, isn't it? I mean, there might be some elements of truth in certain aspects of it, but how do you gauge it? How's it measured? I mean, some people, you know what I mean? What sort of percentage was the survey of people, you know what I mean, of people? because it is sort of kind of all over the place, isn't it? But to just say it's 18 to 24, and that's generalising that, but then there's people in other relationships from, you could say, whatever age, innit, that probably have sex a lot more times than people are, you know what I mean, who are much younger than them, and vice versa. But yeah, I'm not quite sure about that.
What do you think about that, Johnny?
I don't know. Maybe as you get older, you got more of like a life where you're working, and when you get home, you just want to go to sleep and not have. You don't want to really sleep with your partner or whoever may be, and get me. So maybe the stats, maybe when you're younger, like under 24 and that, you got maybe less responsibilities, in it. So your libido's just like high, you know. You just want to just get me. You just want to just have sex all the time. But as you get older now, maybe, like I said, you get me. You're working. You got kids. You get me. You maybe have to book time away with your partner to be having sex like that, and don't get me. Maybe it is a thing like that when you get older. It's this certain things just die down. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm glad that was one of the affecting factors of the sex or non-sex, if one would like to say. What was it? Life events. That was one of the things. Work.
Yeah.
Familial responsibilities. Rascal. You know, day-to-day responsibilities may result in people being tired, preoccupied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Said couples may find it beneficial to schedule date nights.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly.
Nurture their relationships. And other things as what? Person's health, medical conditions, medications. Maybe you're taking too much medication, you know what I mean?
Maybe prescribed.
Age. That's what you just said, Johnny. People may more likely have to have less sex as they age. I don't know, you know. You know, without going into too much details, guys. What do you say? You know, what do you say about yourselves? Because, like, fuck, you know, I don't know. It depends, right? Then it depends who your old lady. Not really. I don't know. It depends. I mean, if you got this lovely looking woman in your house all day, all night, shit. Sure, you wanna Sure you want to deal with that a couple times a night, no? At least. What are you saying? What happened? Are we not trying to lay the foundation? Remember, the rules of the game is to make sure she don't go nowhere else, right? Do we agree with that, guys?
I do. But yeah, but I think, like, even what Johnny was saying earlier on, like you said, like, you could be this stunning lady, but if you've been with her for 10, 15, 20 years, and you're just doing, like you said, even when you was touching on some of those points earlier on, teacher, about work, lifestyle, routine, you know what I mean? There may be that, I mean, everyone's different, but for some people that could just be like, you grow into a cycle of doing certain things, you know what I mean? And yeah, you'll still take it there sometimes, but you're not 100% fussed like you were used to. You know what I mean? But if you didn't have those circumstances around you, that you didn't have to do the same old stuff all the time, and you weren't with that person, then I don't know, maybe, you know what I mean, there might be something else.
No, sorry. I disagree with that one, old chap. I don't know what you're going to say, Johnny, but I think you got there's the rules. The rules are the rules. I don't know. And they're unwritten. Okay. They're unwritten rules, yeah. The rule is, well, look, if you don't like the woman, get out, yeah. That's the first one, yeah. Then if she is there, yeah, and she's desirable, yeah, then you got to do your work. What do you say about that, Johnny?
I'm more towards like what Artie was saying, you know, like when I was, say, younger days, I was all about like some everyday thing, you get it? But as I've got older now, it's like I'm more pacing myself now, and it's like I'm not saying I don't like to as much as I can, but it's like I'm at that stage now where I'm more about, if I could once a week, then once at that stage, once if it can once a week, then I'm kind of cool with that. But then on the other side, if you're with someone, the way you used to be, if you've cut down from what you used to be to what I want to be now, they look at it as if you're getting it from someone else. So they're like, oh, if you're not like how you were used to be with me, you must be getting it from someone else, because how was your sex drive just dropped? But tell the truth, bruv, I'm not with it like how I used to be in it, and to not like change the subject, and it's a thing like I'm happy with just once for that night now. You get it? Before I was all like 3, 4, 5 times for the balance of the night. Now once, you're lucky if you get 2 rounds, but I'm cool with just once. You get it? But yeah, man.
Ross class. Ross class. No, I don't know. I thought that was just normal. You understand? At least 3 times. You understand? At least 3 times a night. Do you know what I mean? Especially if I don't know, man. If you find that woman attractive, yeah, and you're always hanging out with that woman, we'll say you go gym with your partner. You understand? So you get to see her in them nice clothes and shit like that. Nah, fucking hell, man. I don't know about that, guys. What are you concurring with that Artie, with what Johnny said? Do you concur? What were you saying? Once a night, yeah? Is that all right with you, chap?
Once a night's all right. I mean, look, I think you also touched on it a bit yourself just a second ago, where it's all about circumstance and who you're with, and all relationships are different. You know what I mean?
All right.
And
all right.
things like length of time does come
all right.
into
All right.
some
No,
people.
sorry to cut you.
Not.
Sorry to cut you, old chap. Sorry to cut you. All right. So let's just say, yeah, you can have the ideal, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Becky. Big up Becky Lou. Becky Lou just said she's lucky to get 4 times a year.
Oh, bless.
Shit, man. Shit.
It's a stretch, but go on.
Fuck it, oh man. I don't know, man. I don't know. But all right, don't you think like? What was I saying? I lost my track there. Fuck it, no. Okay, let's just say right. The woman is. Totally. What if the woman is ideal? You understand? Let's just say the woman is an ideal woman. Forget about all the problems and all that stuff. Yeah. Let's just say the person's ideal. Yeah. Won't you still think? Won't you up the levels?
Try to up the levels.
Right. Okay. So okay.
Go on.
So all right. So now you're talking about something else. Where you said try. You're talking about something else. I mean, look,
the physical attraction is kind of there, isn't it? That kind of that's different if that's there, and you're doing those things kind of together on a frequent basis, and then, like you said, in a certain way, it's more like a bit commonsensical that you would, you know what I mean? Because you're doing that with them all the time. But kind of different kind of relationships, it's just different, isn't it? That's the one I'm looking at, you know what I mean? And but if it was right in front of me, sometimes, like you said, she was training, maybe, but I'm just, as it is now, isn't it?
What were you saying, Johnny? If you had this, you know, the quote unquote perfect woman, you understand, hitting the gym with you, you go and hit the gym with her. Wouldn't that make it better? She's like this, you know, she's a number 10 to whatever you think is a number 10. Won't you think like, won't that up the levels for you, old chap?
But you've got that saying where, what's that saying again? it sounds harsh still, but where you meet someone for the first time and then your drive's different it's for me anyway, as when you grow with someone. So when I first meet someone and I really like them and I think they're the perfect person for me, I want it all the time with them, innit? But as you start to grow with someone, it's like it's like I don't want it as much as I did at the start. And it's not because I still don't find them as attractive as I did at the start, or I still not into them. It's like I've had the what's it called? The first stage is like you've had the honeymoon period, and then you've gone into the realization, like, all right, I'm with this person for
a long time,
for the rest of your life. So it's like it's not how it was then for me. So it's like everything's just come down a bit. But obviously, like I said, once or twice a week and once a night, once for that night, I'm good with that. But as I'm saying, that place where man went, teacher, you see where I met you, yeah? Since I've come home, my whole drive has just dropped. And I don't know if it's
you want them something from in there? You want them something?
I don't know if it's because the food man was eating or the lifestyle man was leading. It's just before I went to that place where I met you. Yeah, like I said, it was like every night. Once, twice, 3, 4 times. Bro, man was just going all night to the break of dawn, bad man. And it's like now since I've come home, I don't smoke certain things that I used to smoke, or I don't drink that much, and that used to make my drive go. I'm not saying I can't just be with a woman or look at a woman or be cuddled up with a woman in a bed or on the sofa and want it, but when I used to smoke, like weed and drink and all that, bro, my sex drive was through the roof. I used to have women say, yo, you need to calm down, like you want it too much. And it's like now my things come right down now where they're like, are you sure you're not seeing other people or anything? Because you get me, because what I know your level is come right down now, but it's not that. It's just certain things I used to, like certain substances I used to take and drink and certain things. I don't do them things anymore. And it's now, I don't know if I'm too laid back now, but it's just not up there like it used to be. And it's like, yeah, it's crazy, man.
You're sure it's not your fancy? Your fancy that you want to tell your partner fling on that uniform? You understand? Maybe it's the uniform you want, brethren. You understand? Not really.
And like I said, I don't know if it's a thing, like, obviously, because I stopped taking certain things and drinking certain things. And it's like, as I'm maturing more now, I realize, all right, it's like you said at the start, you got to be doing your job to keep them interested because you don't want them to stray. But now I realize you still need it in a relationship, or even if you're not in a relationship, you still need it. But it's like, I've started to realize there's more than just sex in it. Like I could sit down and rap with a girl, and it's like, obviously I still want to do whatnot and have sex with them, but it's like I could just chill and just confiscate. I could confiscate, and we can drink or whatever, and just if it's on the agenda, then yeah. But I'm not, like I said, since that place, it's just come right down, bro.
Yeah, you want to be confiscating that pussy for a few hours at least. You know what I'm saying? Every fucking night at least. I don't know. All right, let's go. Let's go into some more of the stats in it. What's the benefits of an active sex life? You're more physical. You don't have to go gym. You're more physically fit. You know.
To work out.
It depends, yeah. If you're doing the big boy sessions, you know what I'm saying? You'll be happy.
You're keeping your sexual partner happy.
You'll be much more happier, yeah. You're gonna have increased life expectancy, yeah. have a better immune function, lower heart rate and blood pressure, and less stress. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Can't argue with that, mate. Can't argue with that. I don't know,
that
man.
does sound good.
I don't know.
No,
man.
Go
on, sir. You're dying to get in. Go on.
Yeah, let me sneak in. I agree with a little what John was saying earlier on in terms of, like, when you first meet someone, you know what I mean, and it's all fresh and you're doing it on a consistent basis. But when you grow with someone, and it was key, kind of what you said about growing with someone. I don't know how it works out, like, but for some reason, for me, I just didn't want it, or even feel I needed it as much. But I'm sure if I was in a different relationship or started a new, fresh relationship somewhere else, you know what I mean, who knows, then maybe I would be acting like that again, you know what I mean? But in what I'm doing now and how I'm sort of in a long-term relationship now, I just feel like when you grow and I live with someone like that, my experience like that, I didn't want it as much, but I still want it, you know what I mean? But not as much.
I hear what you're saying, right? But I don't understand that. For me, it's a big part of the relationship. You understand? It's like it could be more than 50% of the relationship. Not to say that the other parts are not important, because they are. Because you can't just have the sex on its own without the other parts of the relationship. They all work together. You understand? And you need the sex. And I think that thing of desiring that other person and then potentially changing it up, you understand? Because when you're, and you guys both said the same kind of thing of when you're together for somebody for a long time, and then it gets whatever it gets, but then that's when you're supposed to step up and start change. For me, anyway, yeah, that's when you're supposed to step up and start. Right, how we're gonna keep this interesting? You know what I'm saying? Because, not to say it's getting boring, but shit, it should be the same. It should be the same as you started. You're going in full whack. You know what I mean? At the start, that's how it should be in the middle, and that's how it should be at the end as well. Go on, Johnny.
I agree. It should be that way, but for some reason with me, it doesn't sustain the same. It's like I said, me personally, I try to keep it the same. It just gets to a stage where it just drops, right? And it's like when you try to bring it back up again, it's like it gets kind of forced. It's like you're forcing it because you're thinking, I need to get it back to where it was at the start, but it's just once it just drops for me, and it doesn't get back. And like I said, it doesn't mean I don't love the person still. I don't have the same feelings. It's just, for me personally, it just once we grow together, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't know why it's like that with me, but it just doesn't stay the same, man.
What do you say about that, Artie? What do you have for that?
Yeah, I feel kind of similar in terms of that's it. When I've been in a really quite a long relationship myself, you know what I mean, as you know, and yeah, it just feels like that. It should, and with what you're saying to a point, I agree. It should be a functional and a big part of any relationship. And you kind of listed some good points about, even health reasons. All jokes aside, you know what I mean, and why it's an important part of it. And maybe there's part of everyone that would like that to be more, but it's just not like that. And it just, I don't know, guys often maybe agree with a bit what you're saying. There's an onus of responsibility possibly on us to, like you said, do something or spice it up. But just generally, without going into detail, it's not always that simple, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you, but I don't know.
I remember.
Go on, Johnny.
One time, teacher, you had the subject about when you're with someone who initiates when you're together, who initiates it and stuff like that. And it's like I've always had the problem.
What problem like that? Yeah, cutting out. You keep cutting out.
Cut.
got a problem like that. Well, anyway,
Yeah, cool.
I think when he comes back, whenever he comes back, old chap, you can just continue there with that. I think what is that, Johnny?
I'm back.
All right, sorry, go on. What was you saying? You think?
Yeah, remember we had that conversation. I said when you had the subject about when you're with someone and you, that's it. And it's like I've always had the thing where when I first meet someone, like I said, where the sex drive is high and we both don't feel no way about touching and feeling each other and saying, "Yo, come, we're moving to each other," and then as we start to know each other, say like a month or a couple months in, the sex is still like good, but it's like the initiate, like it kind of stops. It's like, but I kind of thought it should be the other way around. When you first meet someone, it's like you're kind of iffing and butting if you want it or not. But as you grow with someone, you start to feel more comfortable and
yes.
But my ones at the start, they're all like, yeah, cool, let's like, yeah, and we're like rabbits, innit? Like, and then as time goes on now, it's like we're like start thinking, what do you want to do it? Shall we do it? And I'm thinking, but yeah, it's weird with my way around, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I think, I don't know. It's the first thing, you understand? It's the first thing you do. For me, it's the first thing you, and I agree with that thing that you just said. First, you're finding your feet, you understand? You got the intentions of what you're going to do, and what's going to happen. But the longer it goes, the better it gets. Do you know what I'm saying? What are we saying, Becky Lou? What are you saying? Tell us something. What you what you thinking about what we're saying? Is it, don't go into no details, but how is it for you? And like you said already, 4 times a year if you're lucky, but I feel it for you, love. I feel it. That's how it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ, that's like anyway, well, anyway, I don't know, man. I don't know, but all I know is that's a big part of the relationship, and it's something that you got to work towards to maintain. I think everything disappears. You start it off all over the place, you're not really sure, but once it warms up a year, you know what I'm saying, you should be okay with that person. You get on, you start doing all different types of things, you know what I'm saying? You could even spice it up, do you know what I mean? What time is it? Half hour, an hour, right? Let's go through some last important things and then we'll fuck off, then we'll change it up. All right. Hey, maybe we need some help. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe the stresses of life is getting to us while we forget this thing. No, I'm just stuck on your one a bit, Johnny, where it starts off like how it starts and then disappears. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like a lust thing, innit?
Maybe.
It sounds like some kind of lust thing, anyway.
Maybe.
No, all right, no, fuck it. We're gonna leave it half an hour in. We're gonna leave it. No more stats. I don't know, man. I think it's an important thing to have sex with your person.
Yeah, I think so as well.
With the person that you like, and that you want to have a nice relationship with, a long-term relationship, and the longer it goes, the better. The longer it goes, the better. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know, mate. I think it gets better. I mean, other things turn into it. If you don't like the person and all that stuff, that will crash the whole party. But if you're on the same page as each other in the first start, as you start off, and then, to me, I think it's the glue in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's the sticky stuff in the relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Quite literally.
Anyway.
Quite literally.
Enough of that one. What's that? Becky says no comment. No comment, Becky. Nice one. Nice one.
Oh, bless
Nice
her.
one, old chap. Right, what we going on to? Dual relationships.
Mixed relationships, yeah, innit? We're sticking on the kind of
Go for it.
kind of relation. Yeah, we'll crack on with this one. Yeah, have a chat about this. It's a subject that kind of appeals a lot to me. I've been in a mixed relationship for about, I think, best part of 15 years now. And kind of, and it's an interesting thing. So I was looking at some stats, and I'm quite surprised because I think if you see or you hear about Britain, you think how multicultural it is, and more London, yeah. I mean, if we're straight, and everywhere else maybe not so much. But they're saying it only makes up 7% of all relationships in the UK, which is still, for me, an alarmingly low stat. Couldn't get nothing up on London. I'm sure London's a lot higher, you know what I mean, gents? And there's a sad stat that they're saying that almost 41% of all mixed race marriages end in divorce. Personally, I thought it might have been higher just in general because it's kind of the divorce world we live in now. And 31% of the same ethnicities end in divorce. So there's a little bit of a differential there. And I'm going to look at some reasons, sort of 2 and 4, sort of why there's such a dearth in these relationship guides. You know what I mean? And maybe get a bit of both your feedback about a couple of questions I'll pose to you guys about if you have some experience within these kind of relationships and what issues that you've had, and if they're, you know, I mean, kind of similar to what I've had or kind of my partner. Talking about mine personally quickly over the 15 years. From my side of my family, I mean, my close family, like my mum, I never really had any real kickback from my mum towards my partner because she was black. So that, I mean, and she's in a mixed relationship now. She's been in for about 20 years, you know what I mean? And she's been absolutely fine with my partner all through these years, so that's never been an issue. But I know in certain mixed relationships that there is an issue that comes in sort of from family and peer pressure, you know what I mean? And sometimes that can result in breakups, you know what I mean? So what do you guys think about this? I'll pose you a quick one. And it's the kind of reasons for interrelation kind of relationships not working as a mouthful. Just about got it out there, gents. Sorry. So kind of one of the key ones, and I think, as I said, with my own personal family, I didn't come across it, was like peer pressure from family members who are against mixed relationships. Have you guys ever had any of that? Just jump in whenever.
Johnny?
People who...
I can't say that I have, you know. Even though I have got some, I have got like the elder family members that are kind of funny with mixed relationships in it. But me personally, they've never put their feelings onto me like that. But they are kind of funny with stuff like that. They're of the belief where everyone should stick with their own, you know. But
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, me personally, I'm on the one. Whoever you fall for, innit? You get me? You can't help who you fall for, man. But yeah, I've never had it. But yeah, I have got family members that are like kind of strict and funny with stuff like that. But that's their own problem, innit? I'm not here to try and indulge their life. You get it? Whatever they feel and whatever they feel, whatever I'm gonna do is 2 different things. Because I do go for Caucasian women, innit? So and they know that as well, innit? Obviously, they're not happy about it, but there's nothing they can tell me about it. But yeah, I don't think I've come with that. I wouldn't say that I've succumbed to any like peer pressure or stuff like that. Like I said, what I want to do at the end of the day, I'm gonna do it no matter what. But yeah, I've heard them talk about other family members before, innit? Like, so I already know how it goes. So they probably do it about me, but they haven't done it directly to me and said anything. So yeah, I just get me. Whoever makes you happy, you just go with them. But like, to answer your question, no, I've never succumbed to any peer pressure or anything like that. For it, so.
But John, just to come on another quick one quickly, do you think anyone you've ever been with has been reluctant to go with you, not because they like you, but just because, you know what I mean? Because of maybe what their parents might think or someone else might think. And I think this is what they're trying to catch at a little bit with kind of the problem. Like, I've never had it myself. I've always, from years and years, I mean, Teach will tell you, I've been around, you know, I mean, people for ages. So it's nothing to me. It's more how people would see me, like more how her family would see me, you know what I mean? Arguably, they were quite sceptical at first because of her previous relationships. They weren't great, you know what I mean, with the people that she was with. So they were quite sceptical about me, which I completely understand. And then after time, touch wood, people see what you're worth and what you do, then they're okay. But that's what I wonder, John, did you ever have like a, you know, I mean, like a friend who was interested with you, but it didn't quite work out due to maybe some peer pressure from family, or they just said, sod it, if I like you, I like you, you know what I mean?
I'd say in my younger days, yeah, I used to be with like Caucasian females, and they used to say to me, oh yeah, like you can't come to my house and all that because like my mom and dad, they wouldn't be happy about me seeing someone like you and stuff like that. But that's younger days. But as I got older now, it's like, I don't know if it's more acceptable now, but it's like, it come like, that's not really, to me, it's like, it's not really a problem like how it was back then. So, I see Dad as much into it as I am. So it's like, I can't say that I have, you know.
Totally, that's good. How about you, Teach?
The problem that I see, and it's a little different to yours, okay, because you're on the other side of it, yeah? What I see, the problem I see sometimes is they don't understand certain things, yeah? They don't understand certain, you know, for like, you know, you might say racism. Some racism things you might sit there and experience. I don't think that person actually understands it. You understand? Not all the time. Some of them do. Not all of them, but some of them do understand it. But the majority of them, they don't get it. And maybe they're stuck on that some kind of stereotype thing as well of,
sure, you know, I think so. That's right. Yeah, like there's unique stereotypes that are portrayed, and without getting into detail, we know.
Hold on. Maybe they're stuck on this stereotype of this, you know, this black person who doesn't do nothing, who ain't got a job or ain't aspiring to nothing. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that, where they treat you a little bit different. Do you know what I'm saying? And so no, they're the kind of things that I've seen. I don't know about you. Have you seen anything like that, Johnny?
I've heard about things like that, but I've never experienced that like firsthand. I've just heard about stuff like what you're saying, where the stereotype with like, oh, he doesn't work, so he must be this or that, or he must be a bum or something, but you don't really know about what's going on in his life, or why he isn't working, or how many times he's had to go to, he's had a job and he's been like fairly mistreated. You don't know, you don't know about his life. But yeah, I've heard about it, but I've never experienced anything like it.
No,
go on.
Have either of you guys, I think I know the answer anyway to this one, kind of ever experienced anybody saying anything sort of derogatory to, you know what I mean, to a partner of yours, or if not verbally saying it, you know what I mean, communicating it in another way that made, you know what I mean, your partner feel uncomfortable or yourself? because these are the reasons I'm trying to look at, because they're sort of why there's a breakdown, you know what I mean, in more sort of mixed relationships than sort of non-mixed.
Go on, Johnny.
Not that I can recall either, you know.
What was the question again?
So, like, do you think when you've been out in public with your partner, either someone's kind of said something to you in a derogatory way, or do you feel you've been treated differently in a derogatory way because of who you're with and who they're
100%, 100%. See, what you're talking about is, you're talking about, is there racism, because there is racism, so that's what you're really saying under the talk, but
under the reason saying why they're breaking down,
is there racism? That's what you're really saying under the talk. But the thing is, I went down to where did I go? I went down to Carnaby Street. Remember Carnaby Street?
Yeah,
there was a restaurant down there. Some restaurant down there, and I went with a young woman. She was above age, don't worry. And you know, we went to this restaurant. It was okay, the restaurant, and I went to the toilet, right? So this woman, the waitress goes to the young lady and says, why don't you get a man from this country? What's wrong? You understand? She said to her, why ain't you got and I thought about that for a long time, you know, and I thought, you know what, I should fucking complain and put it on the because you know everything's online now. You can just complain and people will see that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I should really complain on that, because
that's out of order.
Why are you even chatting shit? You don't even know if we were married or anything or whatever, 10 kids up or whatever, and you're chatting all kinds of rubbish like that. And I mean, it is like that, you know. I've had parents ask me why does she choose these people? What's wrong? and I'm saying, well, what the fuck are you asking me for? Why don't you ask her?
Exactly.
I can't answer you that question because I got chose, So, but you know, the question is there racism? Yes, there is, and it's always, you know, it could be from a shoulder, you know, not moving out of the way, because you see couples on the street, right? Isn't it? Everybody wants to hold hands. And then you got to move out of the way for them, they don't want to share the pavement or whatever. Something too small to that, to a blatant comment, you know what I'm saying? So there is racism.
And just I talk kind of little things about ways that we can move forward, you know what I mean, in your own mixed couples. I mean, it's basics, but maybe some people don't. And it's like you kind of view it to yourself. I mean, if you haven't educated yourself, if you jump into someone in a mixed relationship, then you should try to educate yourself a bit about, you know, I mean, that other person's culture, and try to understand. I think you touched on it earlier on, teacher, about try to understand certain things as well that possibly you haven't seen before, or you're not used to. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Look at people in a different way, you know, rather than be that judgmental, or, you know what I mean?
I think
kind of just look at.
Sorry. I think this is the problem. You know, you're looked at as maybe less. You understand? You're looked at as maybe lazy. You're looked at as maybe not applying yourself. You know, and it all depends how one decides to live their life, and because you know you're not gonna beat racism, so it don't make sense beating yourself up about it. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. So, you know, just notice it and then move on. You understand? So, but, you know, that's for some people, but you're within your right to do whatever you like. You can wallow. You can do whatever you like. You can piss and moan. You could do whatever you like, you know, because at the end of the day, you didn't bring that to yourself. Yeah, there's some other people bringing their bad opinions on you. You know what I'm saying? So,
No, it's a good point you're making. And there's also a lot of positive reasons to. I mean, to be in a stable relationship in general, but to be in a mixed relationship as well. You know what I mean? Because if you have kids, I've got 2 kids. From this relationship, they're 12 and 9, and they've gained a lot from both sides. You know what I mean? From different cultures and stuff from both sides. I'm not saying you can't get that in, in a non-mixed relationship, but there are positive things to happen with that as well. You know what I mean? And you can learn and embrace things over time. If you choose to, I think you did touch on that again earlier on. If you choose to, what you want to do is key, isn't it? But if you are going to engage in one, I think you do owe it to yourself to, to try to integrate, with people. But if they're not bothering, like in my own family personally, as you know, I don't have contact with many cousins who that's their belief in it, that I shouldn't be with a person of colour, and I'm not interested in them anyway. But that's their belief and it will always be their way. And you can't change them, so you just move on with yourself, you know what I mean? Just crack on with it. Otherwise, you don't want to surround yourself with those people. But yeah, no, I just find it interesting that it's still only 7% of our public, of the whole population, sorry. And in terms of, we have I think 70 million people now in the UK. And I think a few sort of places could take a leaf out of London's book in that way, in terms of how multicultural it is. I mean, as we all know, it still has its issues. But I think it was much tougher, arguably, maybe 30, 40 years ago, if you were in a mixed relationship, than now when it's embraced kind of a bit more, and there's not too much. I mean, as I said, depending where you are, you're still going to have issues, because we still have ours in London.
We're from London. We got the best place, multicultural place in Europe. You can argue. I say it's not far off. You understand? But the thing is, it's just London. Outside London, you get all. Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, Liverpool. The big cities. But them on the way to them places, it's still old school mentality. Still, these people are looking at,
Exactly.
looking at
I
you
think
like
that's
some
the key
alien.
point. That's the key point you made there, teacher. It's an old school mentality, and hopefully, maybe if you look at these sort of statistics, 20, 30 years time, they would have grown all around the country, and the newer generation of people. It sounds horrible because it's not, like I said, for all old people think that way, but it is a little bit of that old school mentality that you should stay within your people and not come out of that bubble, and just live your life that way, you know what I mean? But hopefully with the new generation of people coming through, that those stats will change dramatically over the years, you know what I mean, and pick up a bit more, because it'd be interesting to see if that does happen. And sort of people's parents who then have children, they'll just see that as norm, you know what I mean, as a normal thing rather than as it was seen before, and now a normal thing. I mean, what would you call a half caste, all them kind of horrible terms, you know what I mean? So hopefully sort of 20, 30 years down the line, and there'll be a big change in it, and it will just be seen as totally normal rather than you still got in large parts of, Britain, this really bigoted view, you know what I mean? Of you can only be with who you should be with, which is kind of very small and narrow-minded. But yeah, and that's it really. Kind of hopefully I kind of look at other things of why, don't know, they could say, but touched upon sort of the unique cultural and racial differences.
It's like saying racism's going to get away. It ain't getting no way. It ain't going to change, you know what I'm saying? But, we don't give a shit anyway. Do you know what I mean? We just don't give a shit. We do what we do.
No, I'm happy. As I said, I've been in a mixed relationship for 15 years now. I've got 2 beautiful kids. And that's it. And I'm sure there's kind of many more people who have had kids and are quite happy, and kind of whether they're still with their partner or not. There's always good stuff coming out of that. But yeah, I don't think of anything else I haven't covered on there. That's the main thing in it. It's like you touched on. You've got to tackle a bit of racism, just educate yourself a little bit more. You know what I mean, and kind of look after each other, and kind of communicate openly. And maybe if around what you said, teach a bit more sex as well.
Sex is the answer. If you're asking for me, mate, you know what I mean.
That's
sex
it, my man.
Sex is the
but
answer.
Yeah,
mate.
I mean, that's important as well. But I mean, for me, it is a big thing. Like I said, I've been in one for 15 years, and I have seen a lot of things happen over the years and kind of stuff. But it's interesting to see how it's all worked out now. But no, I wouldn't change it for the world. And I think just be happy in your relationship. But if you are in a mixed one, then be interesting to see if there was any comments on what sort of people's thoughts, how it kind of worked out for them and theirs.
Cool. Yeah? Sorted?
Yeah, no, I'm cool, man. Yeah, cool, man.
Sorted. AOB then. Yeah. AOB. What's been going on? Johnny, what's been going on with all the sports and anything? Anything been happening?
There's some football over the weekend.
What happened? Anything happened last weekend?
Last weekend?
Weekend just gone,
yeah. You had Man United lost at home 3-0 to Bournemouth. Old Ten Hogs under it. Chelsea lost their 7th Premier League game of the season. Arsenal lost 1-0 to Villa. I think Villa set a new record now, innit? 15 home league games in a row or something like that. They've set a record for themselves.
Yep, done a 15 still, doing well.
Man City squeezed a win over Luton Town 2-1.
It's a little tight one.
Yeah, Liverpool, somehow they came back and won against Crystal Palace after the idiot got sent off for Crystal Palace. 2-1.
Are you? Hey, what about thingy out there in Spain, Johnny? Girona?
Oh, yeah, they were 4-2, innit?
Papped up Barca 4-2. They're top now.
Barca don't lose at home like that. But, yeah, they lost at the new camp, wasn't it? 4-2.
Yeah, Real drew, so they're top. That's a nice little story if anybody's kind of followed their story, innit? Or are they like a little club of Man City or something? They're like, they own them. I don't know if they own them or something like that anyway. But, yeah, no, they're doing really well. I don't think of anything else happening. I was telling teachers there was some boxing, innit?
Which one?
What more? What is this? Hey, this Turkish Super League referee punched by a club president.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Crazy.
Got punched to the ground by the club president after fiery end to the match in Turkish football's top flight. Some Turkish guy was knocked to the ground. MK, I don't even know what the name that is. Farouk Kocha. Ran onto the pitch after his team conceded a 97th minute equaliser in the 1-1 Super League draw against Rizspor. This man, he received several blows from others as he laid on the turf. Right, so the man punched him down, and then people start give him a couple of kicks or whatever.
Bloody hell. Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Didn't they thingy? They just thingied some players, didn't they? This guy, Bailly, they banned a few players, didn't they? One of these teams, Fenerbahce or something. About 6 or 7 players. I think 3 were black. Do you know what I mean? You know what Turkey's going on with over there. Anyway, go on, Johnny. Your thing.
If you had the Arsenal women beat Chelsea women 4-1 yesterday. And what? Joey Barton as well, isn't it? He's obviously done some podcasting saying about women shouldn't commentate on the men's game and certain things like that. But, you know.
Yeah. That's what he's saying. They're not qualified to commentate, innit? So he was murdering them over that still and discussing their game, innit? Saying how slow it was and all that stuff. You know, he don't hold back, innit? I mean, you know. So
I think there was some boxing last night, isn't it?
There was a Devin Haney fight. He fought at the weekend. He beat a guy called Regis Progress. He was a very good fight a few years ago, but he's not his best now. He talked a lot of smack, but he got punched up by Haney, lost every round. So Devin Haney's top fighter, so he might be fight. Well, he should give Lomachenko a rematch because I think Lomachenko beat him, but it's a close fight. But he might, he's talking about fighting Ryan Garcia or possibly Gervonta Davis, but I don't see that happening. And this Conor Ben thing now, what he said now, that fight's on, he's going to come out now and they've scientifically proven that how it got into his system or whatever. So, yeah, apparently that fight it's going to happen when they're talking February. So, Ben and Eubank.
There's that big night on the 23rd, isn't it? Was it Saturday the 23rd? Joshua's on the card, Wilder's fighting on the card, Baby Miller's fighting on the card.
Yeah. Baby Miller.
It's Dubois, isn't it?
Bivol's fighting on the card as well. Really good card. So that's on the 23rd. It's on the Zone, I think. I think you stream it as well. I can't remember. It's early though. I mean, it's not one of them late ones. So if anybody's interested, you'll be able to see it at half decent time. Yeah, just hanging in for that really. What else happened? Celtic lost in the league, shockingly. Yeah, we lost our first game of the season. I've just had that one in. Yeah, horrible stuff, but we're still top for now. But play a few more games like that, we won't be. So yeah, that was a Cooper buster if you had them in your accumulator, which a lot of people did. But apart from that, that's it really. Anything else happening? There's a big UFC this weekend with Leon Edwards against Colby Covington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mate, that's going to be lively. He's defending his title. So yeah, that's one to catch up. But it's probably, I'm sure it's out there. I don't quite. It could be at the O2. I don't know. I'll have to check. It's either at the O2 or out in Vegas. One of the two. If it's in the O2, you'll be able to watch it at a good time. But if it's Vegas, then that's a replay thing. But yeah, apart from that, nothing much else, I think, guys.
Oh, what? This weekend, what? Liverpool, Man United.
Oh.
Yeah, Sunday, innit? Sunday, 4:30. Okay, and if Ten Hag loses by like 4, 5, 6, 7-0 like last year, he could be, get me, but I don't know. They're keeping him, but it could be his final game still if he has a heavy loss.
But they got Munich before that, ain't they?
Yeah, well, if you look at it, they've got Bayern Munich at home tomorrow, and then they've got Liverpool away on Sunday. Then after that, they got Villa and West Ham. Yeah, they got some hard games still, man.
Boy, I don't mind that, mate. They'll be in a relegation zone soon.
But they need to win. They need to beat Bayern Munich tomorrow, Man United, and hope Galatasaray and Copenhagen draw.
Oh, good luck with that, mate. Harry Kane will probably get an hat-trick, mate.
Boy, I seen Bayern Munich lose 5-1 on Saturday, so...
Who packed them?
Frankfurt.
Oh, what happened to them?
They had a strong lineup. They had Kane, Coman, Sane.
You got moved to?
Yeah, 5-1 away to Frankfurt. Not 5-1, but yeah.
That's a bit of a bad one. But then I'd still bank them to beat United. But you never know. It's a funny old game. But bloody hell, the way United are playing is dreadful, isn't it?
And Newcastle have to beat AC Milan and hope that Dortmund beat PSG on Wednesday to go through. Otherwise, they're out or going in Europa League or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's possible. I'd still, favour probably PSG slightly, but they've got a tough one in. Depends how Dortmund do it. They're already through, so they might not. They might try and rest one or two, innit?
Arsenal got Brighton next week on Sunday as well.
You're home.
Yeah, but that doesn't really matter these days. The team ain't scoring. Jesus has got 2 league goals this season. Martinelli's got 2 league goals this season. That is just not clicking, man.
Bit more up front, isn't it?
think they said Mo Salah scored more Premier League goals than all of Arsenal's frontline players this season.
Yeah, well, Mo, mate. Yeah, I think I said he's got like something like 18 or 19 goals. No, he's got 10 or 11 in it and quite a few assists as well. So he's having a good season. Spurs smashed thingy, innit? Who did they beat? Spurs.
4-1 Newcastle.
Oh yeah, they piped Newcastle in it 4-1. That was a good performance.
Richarlison's 2 goals.
Innit, he got his goals finally, innit? Gosh, he ain't scored for ages.
Who else played? West Ham lost it. Who did it?
Yeah, Fulham put 5 on them.
Yeah, 5-0, innit?
Fulham put 5 on them still. Big beating, mate. They've got 2 5-0s back to back, Fulham, innit?
Yeah, that's a shock, man.
Yeah. Who was it? Oh, that's right. It's really weird. If you have a look at the Premier League table, innit? Chelsea are the lowest. They're the lowest London club in the division. They're the lowest.
Fulham's higher than them. West Ham.
Everyone. Brentford.
Everyone.
Yeah, they're the lowest, mate. And they'll be lower if it weren't for Everton losing all them points.
Pochettino did a press conference yesterday saying that he needs more players.
Well, yeah, how many more you want? You want to get rid of some first, isn't it? It's a bit silly, you know. But yeah, it's a crazy experiment there.
Boy. January window opens in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few ins and outs as usual, innit?
Yeah, I think they said Arsenal need to sell about 4 players to bring 1 in, so...
Isn't it? Boy. We need to invest as well, I think. It's one of them ones.
Well, you lot can't even get into the Europa League, innit?
Nah, but we still need to invest because we're losing how many man to that Asian Cup? Probably about 6 man to that Asian Cup, so...
Oh, you got all them Japanese...
Japanese and South Korean, innit? So... Yeah, we're going to lose them, so there'll be players coming in, but yeah, I think he's got to spend a penny. I think the board, they messed up in the summer, they didn't spend enough, so as you know, they tried to do a little bit of penny pinching, so they messed up a bit. They've done okay, but you know, they didn't do what they should have done, I think. Try to cut corners.
All right then, well.
Yes,
that's about it then. That's about it, yeah?
All good, man.
Nice one, guys. Nice one. We run it, back next Sunday, hopefully, yeah, without no problems running. We'll see. And, yeah, thanks, guys. See you next week then, yeah? See everyone next week.
See you next week, guys.
Big up Becky Lee.
Bless up, people.
Big up, Becky.
Bless up, Becky. Bless up.
And, we'll see you next week. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. See you later, guys.
Bless up.